Hey YouTube, it's Trey again. Figured I would give you a little bit of an update and I would talk about a couple of different things here. So first I'm going to tell you, because I have quite a few comments and a lot of people that given me some advice and stuff like that on things here in the Philippines, and a lot of them are expats that are from here or living here, and a lot of them are people, Filipinos and stuff like that, that are here. But I wanted to go ahead and talk about a few things. We're going to talk about having a target put on my back, and I'm going to give you a little update and a little more background on that toxic family member and things that have transpired and what I learned yesterday. So let's start off with what happened yesterday. So it is the morning. Obviously, I got my coffee. It's the most important thing to me. So yesterday, I had visitors, and they came out, and I got a little more information, and I got a lot of more details. So let's talk about that first. So, no, you know what? Let's talk about this. How did this toxic family member start this whole drama thing and get me involved? Because the truth is that I wasn't the only one involved, or brought involved. Okay. Now, if you watch the other videos, you understand, and hopefully you watch the whole video. I don't speak Visaya. I'm learning, but I am not good enough to communicate in any way. I have learned words, I have learned meanings, and things like that, but I am just not good enough to speak a conversation in any way, shape, or form. But I can listen and understand certain things. So I get a general idea what's going on around me, which is important. If you're coming over here to the Philippines, it's very important that you do try to learn some of the local dialect. Now, with that being said, since I wasn't the only one that was involved, one of the most unheard of things that, from my understanding, is that Filipinos do not apologize for anything. Anything. They will just go quiet and let it go and let time pass, and hopefully you forget about it. All right. I personally, I will forgive you for what you did, but I won't forget what you did. So, long story short, the person that was also involved came over to my home, and they actually got an apology from one of the people involved. Not the person that said it, but the person it was told to, which is kind of crazy because, like I said, they don't apologize for anything. They'll just let it go. But I guess the tensions are really high amongst that family, and I was just a small portion of it. So, you know, when you tell people that I'm gossiping, I'm meritusing, I'm chismissing, making fun of someone, calling them whatever, or saying they're broke, when I don't speak the language and we don't communicate like that, because I can't speak the language, it kind of hurts your story, and it throws shade on it. And if you don't know what shade is, I mean, it's doubt. It's like, it just doesn't happen. It's not one of those things. The other part of it is that I found out why. So this person that did this, right? Because I'm not trying to use any names, and I'm really not trying to put a target on my back. We ain't trying to do the Clinton thing, you know, where you're going to go tell and let everybody know who did what, and you were there and you saw it, and you're the proof and whatever. I'm not doing that. 68 people went missing or unalived because of the Clintons. I'm not trying to do all that. But so this person had borrowed money from this other person and didn't want to pay it back, or couldn't pay it back, or whatever the case is, and they wanted the money back. So time had gone by, And in order to open up communication lines or whatever, to draw the heat off of them personally, apparently they used me and other people to open up a dialogue or try to mend or fix their relationship with this other person. The guy that can't speak or doesn't know what's going on, I'm a pretty good target, guys, just so you know. If I don't know, I don't understand, hopefully maybe I won't find out, right? And at the end of the day, I'm not a member of their family. So therefore, in the end of the day, I'm not really important. That's just how it is. But because of that, things were said, and they used me as an scapegoat, so to speak. And if you don't know what an scapegoat is, it's the person that they think they can use or say did something and is never going to call them out or have to worry about things, because I am the outsider, right? So that's how this all started. And of course, it backfired. It's not just me. I mean, I'm not going to go to their face and call them out. I'm not. I'm just going to distance myself from that particular person. And it is what it is. That's just what you do in life, you know. You can't make people do things. People are going to be people. Now, me putting this stuff out here on YouTube, just remember, guys, I'm just telling you about my experiences. That's it. I'm not calling their names out, nor am I going to. I don't want to. It's not that important to me. But I am distancing myself from those types of people. And unfortunately, they're everywhere. It's not just here in the Philippines. It's everywhere. But we're talking about my experience here in the Philippines. But people God, you should just go and look at all the comments that were in the toxic video that I put out about toxic family in the Philippines. The comments, a lot of questions, people wanting to know different aspects of things. But what really shocked me is how many people have the same problems or have experienced things the same way, which exposes a lot of other people have experienced these types of things. It is what it is. One poor guy, apparently his brother-in-law stole $1,600 from him, USD, and he tried to help him out when he was going to the hospital or something of that nature. But man, I couldn't imagine. But I feel his pain because it's something similar. You know, you tried to help out an old person that was in the hospital, that they thought they were dying, just with the hospital bill. And yes, you can't leave the hospital here until you pay your hospital bill in full. So you have to have some money. It's not expensive by my standards. So, you know, this is different in my country, in the United States. You got to have insurance, but they let you go, and then they bill you or send you to a debt collector and they try to collect later, whatever else. That doesn't happen here. You pay or you don't get released. So anyways, you know, if you look at those comments and go back and read them, it is shocking. But people wanted to know a couple of different things. And one in particular wanted to know about this person taking the coffee money. You know, I gave a couple of 100 pesos to Grandpa, who is Lolo. And the person that started all this took half of it. You know, I don't know all the details of it. All I know is that I have a person that came to me because they were upset because she came and took half the money. It's a couple of dollars, guys. I just gave him some money for some coffee. If you remember, Grandma, his wife, was in the hospital and they were all trying to take care of Grandma, who is Lolo, right? Grandpa was home alone, old guy. He wasn't eating. Nobody helped him out. And that was sad. And when I was there, obviously, I found that out, and he didn't have any food or coffee. So I made sure that he had a little bit of coffee money. But as I learned, and as my Filipina has told me, do not give money. Don't do it. It's the worst thing you can do. And That's very smart. She said, if you want to help them, go buy them some food or go buy them some coffee or whatever. So what I did was I actually went out. So no money was exchanged. And I bought them a bag of coffee and some sugar and creamer, you know, just a couple dollars, nothing major, and a loaf of bread, and made sure that the guy had some food to eat, because obviously grandma can't take care of him and everybody's worried about her, and grandpa's pretty much being left to the side. He didn't do nothing wrong. It's just how things are. Now, let's talk about painting a target on your back. Okay. Yeah, telling my story about this kind of stuff, I'm not worried about painting a target on my back. I'm not putting their names out there. It is what it is. I'm just putting out a video. I'm telling you about my experiences. And from what I learned is that, you know, they don't want to be exposed. They don't. And I get that. Also, you have to understand that if somebody makes a ruckus about my video, they're exposing themselves, which opens them up to more problems. And since they don't usually apologize or do anything else, they'll never make amends, but it makes it really bad. Now, what I learned yesterday about that, this particular person is hiding in their house and not coming out because, well, people knows what she did. Not because of my video, because of her text messages, her videos, and her saying this. And then the person she gossiped to, Meritus Chismis, came over to the house to confront her and talk to the people. This woman actually went to her door and she refused to open it, and everybody knew she was in there. Yeah, it's sad that it's like that, but burning bridges, and it's just making things hard on them. It really is. But with that being the case, guys, you know, don't worry about me in that aspect about having a target on my back. I'm not concerned. Again, I'm not exposing who actually it is. And if they expose themselves, I think it'd be a lot worse for them than it would be for me. I am an outsider. I am never going to be their family, just so you know. I understand that as reading your comments and responding to them. Nor do I actually really want to be a part of their family in that way. I don't want to be involved in their drama or their anything else. You know, that's not my intentions. But treating people with respect, treating people how you want to be treated, that I'm a big fan of. And there was one guy said, "Oh, I'm a simp." I don't think being a simp is helping out needy people or people that are in need or down on their luck. A couple of dollars for a bag of coffee or a loaf of bread or something, you know, or giving kids. Now, people getting jealous over kids or cake or things like that, or not being invited, that is a real thing. I mean, it is what it is. It's just sad that there's an adult or adults out there that are upset because little kids, I mean, and when we're talking little kids, you know, 2 years old to, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years old. I just can't make that up. But going back to the whole target thing, I want to tell you about, if you're going to be a target, I'm not just a target. When you land here, you're a target no matter what. And anybody associated with you is a target for those that have not good intentions. Let's just be honest, okay? I want to talk about my assistant, my domestic helper, maid, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I have one, and I have a video about her. And, you know, unfortunately, she's been targeted too by some of the same people. It is what it is, but others too. Others think because she works for me, she helps me out, and, you know, they want things from her. She's working for the foreigner, the guy. This, you know, so they'll tell her stuff like, "Oh, you think you're better than us. You think you're higher than us." This woman works for me to help me out in doing things, you know, like taking care of my house or running to pay a bill or, you know, go do things because of whatever reasons I need and to help me out. She's a great woman. She's a great person. And because of that, unfortunately, she has gotten some hard times, and that's sad that they would do that to her. I mean, it's to the point that there was a person that knew that she could do things, and they bought a house and they were going to go back to the stateside, and they wanted someone to look after their house while they were gone back to the States for a month or two, or whatever it was. And unfortunately, the jealousy side of things would be very detrimental, because she actually had a job. She works for me, even though she could have took care of that house and watched it in her own time, or do more, and make a couple of extra pesos, a couple extra dollars, whatever the case is. She couldn't do it because that would cause a problem, because there's other people that could have done it who have a job, but they didn't ask those other people. But being a good person and knowing that it would be those problems, she declined the job, and she actually suggested other people. They didn't want the other people. They wanted her to do it because they trusted her. But it's sad that you have to do that, because they're very jealous, and that jealousy will kill you guys. I mean, it really is. That weighs heavy on your heart when you worry about someone other than yourself. Man, things can get rough. But I'm gonna make a future video about some other things and stuff like that. But I wanted to give you a little bit heads up, tell you, don't worry about me. I don't have a target on my back. And yes, I'm actually planning on moving out of the province, just so you know. So I don't want to live here. I want to try a new place. I want to go somewhere else. And it's not because of the family or this person, just so you know. I have my own thoughts. I have my own things. That's important to me. Being out here in a rural area, it's not for me, guys. It is what it is. So I'm going to look in other places. I'd like to have a few more things, and I want to visit other places. I'm exploring. I'm retired. I want to see things and do things. But again, this right here, this is just a landing spot, and it was a good experience and a bad experience all in one. But you live and you learn, right? That's what you do. All right, guys. I'll make another video later. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll make some more content.